Are we live?
Yes.
Oh, we are live. Good morning, folks. It's V, the notorious, glorious guerrilla economist himself, and with my main man, El Cuco, a.k.a. CJ, the master of the flux capacitor, who makes sure that this airwave is coming out, this broadcast is coming out crispy and clean, if you know what I mean. Check us out, roguemoney.net. Follow us on Twitter, at the Rogue Money. Rogue Money on Facebook, DTube, Steemit, every single podcasting app known to humanity. We are there. We are there. We are everywhere. Then some in a bag of chips. Folks, also check out our sponsors, remaincom.net. Remaincom.net. You got collections issues. You got debtors after you. You got collectors after you. Check out remaincom.net. And also, folks, check out mycbdedibles.com. Mycbdedibles.com. When you want some deliciousness, whether it's hot, piping hot CBD-infused coffee or it is I don't know, man, like the chocolate peanut butter Buckeyes. Maybe it's the pecan almond coconut truffles, which are just delicious. Or you want to get some doggy treats for your dog. Get it. CBDedibles.com. MyCBDedibles.com. And also check out thecryptoschool.io, thecryptoschool.io. Whether you want to learn how to trade with Z and Cowboy, or you want to just learn how cryptocurrencies work, thecryptoschool.io is the place to get it done. Thecryptoschool.io. Also, guys, check it out. On and on and on. Rock on to the break of dawn. You got cryptos. You ready to liquidate, but you're worried about all the drama for your mama when it comes to Coinbase, Kraken, any other ones like Genesis or whatever. Go to liquidbase.io, liquidbase.io, and if you got $5,000 or more in cryptos, you can liquidate, my friend. You can liquidate rather quickly, rather rapidly. These guys show you how it's done. With that being said, CJ, what's going on, brother?
Hey, good morning, V. Getting the day started, but just want to send a shout out to you. Great job last night. It was a fabulous show on Coast to Coast. We had a great audience. So man, it was a great show. What are your thoughts about it?
It was an awesome show, man. So I loved it. I loved it, and you know what? It was a lot of fun. It was a great time speaking with George. I haven't spoken in a while. I enjoyed it. I think we had quite a few people on the live chat, and they were having a great time and enjoying their laughs, and overall it was great. Siege, it was wonderful. And I figured, you and I had a late start today because we were up late last night. I know both of us went to sleep probably around like 4:00 or something like that. So with that being said, man, I think what you suggested is, hey, let's do like an open Q&A over here, and let's have some fun.
Yeah, let's cue it up. I'm going to get it started here in a minute. But yeah, V, I think overall, just love the feedback last night. People sending shout outs. And again, it doesn't, it's again, just the amount of information. I mean, you guys covered the scope of so much last night. I was just amazed. I mean, you guys were, every question that he came up is like, where's he going next? Because I don't know if you guys planned it that way, but you guys covered a lot, V.
Yeah, we covered a lot of ground, man. A lot of ground. I mean, we just, we hit the ground running, Siege. We hit the ground running. It was good. It was good. It was a lot of fun, man. George is, my God, he's one of the best interviewers out there, bro. One of the best.
Yeah, so want to welcome to the chat room. I'm going to get it up here on the screen in just a minute. So it looks like we have Crypto Hodlers on, Santana, Tom is on. Tom's a faithful that's here every morning. Cliff as well. So if you guys want to go ahead and start queuing up any questions, either anything you want about last night's show, any questions, go ahead and fire that up, and we'll just continue having just small conversations so those questions come in. One of the interesting things that happened today, V, was that Trump did travel. He did put NATO on notice last night, and it was pretty interesting to watch him directly. I just love his antics. So he's getting in there. He's having a meeting across from the NATO general. Specifically says, now listen, look at Germany. Germany's a perfect example that they're held hostage by Russia because of their energy, and obviously Merkel didn't appreciate that, so she's already
I mean, it's the most stupidest thing in the world. Germany's putting a pipeline in Germany that's coming directly from Russia. It's the Nord Stream pipeline. They're putting a smack dab in Germany, all at the same time, screaming, "You must protect us from the Russians!" And Trump's like, "What the hell's going on here?" It is hilarious. He's taking a look, we are heading. This is, folks. I said this with George last night. Whether you want to believe me or not, look, I figured out what these guys are doing. Okay, I figured it out. I cracked the code. Okay, I cracked the code, and we are heading for a new. If everything goes well, and the hand of God is upon this nation, I'm telling you right now, we are heading for a new American century. We're heading for an amazing time. People said, oh, he's not going to affect China. China's got all these weapons in terms of sustaining a trade war. No. When you look at a lot of the weapons that China does possess, it's still fledgling. It's not developed yet. In other words, when you look at the new Silk Road, the One Belt One Road initiative, which is being built out, it's not complete. It's a project that is not complete. The groundwork is being laid, the foundations are being laid, but it's not a complete project. Number one. Number two, when you look at the China Interpayment System, CIPS, okay, when you look at CIPS, that's not also fully fleshed out as of yet either. Okay, so you see, when you're hitting China with a trade war, and the trade war commences, and just as Trump said, July 6th, back in May, he sent over some dignitaries, not for negotiation, just to give them a heads up and say, hey, this was going to happen to you come July the 6th if you don't, get your act together. And then, boom, that's exactly what happens. Now the Chinese realize Trump's not playing around. This is not a campaign slogan. Everything this guy said on the campaign trail, he's doing it. He's doing it. And I don't care about QAnon or this, that, or the other, or 5D chess, whatever. But the guy is doing it. You got to look at the result of this action. Now, how's this going to play out? We had Miss Shedlock on that was on before me on Coast to Coast, and Mish was talking about, Tesla's going to go to Tesla's a joke. Tesla's a joke. Elon Musk could say he's going to go to Kathmandu, Nepal, and create a Tesla factory there that he's going to make 1 million new cars, and idiot Wall Street investors will probably believe him. Okay, Tesla's a joke. Their days are numbered. Now, apart from that, apart from Tesla, which is irrelevant to the whole entire story, and then BMW's little plant in Spartanburg, South Carolina, saying they're going to tone down the production. Well, what do they produce over there? They're not producing the 5. They're not producing the 7. They're not producing the 3. They're not producing the bread and butter of the BMW cars. They're producing the X3s, the X5s, and the soon-to-be X7. Now, if they mitigate some of the production numbers over there and take it elsewhere, it's not a big hit. You got to understand, the tit for tat here is minuscule. China is hitting the U.S. with $34 billion trade tariff on what? On agricultural products. CJ, what is China's biggest import from the U.S.? It's what? Agriculture. Yeah, why is that? They don't have the best land out there in terms of feeding its people. They just simply don't have it. Okay? Hitting $34 billion.
There's only so many cats and dogs to go around, B. No good. I'm sorry. That was terrible. Go ahead.
That was pretty racist of you, CJ. Very racist. But honestly, there's a city in China where they have the annual dog festival where they all sit around and kidnap dogs from each other and eat it. So it is what it is. Look it up on YouTube. But the fact of the matter is this, okay? When you're hitting $34 billion in trade, $34 billion in the grand scheme, it's nothing. $34 billion is a joke. That's like 0.00001%. It's nothing. It is really nothing. But what is occurring is the cutting off of American technology from Chinese hands, so American companies no longer have to disclose and expose intellectual property rights to China. They don't have to disclose, hey, this is the technology we use. None of that shenanigans. And a $200 billion tariff on Chinese tech firms, which puts a massive kick in the nuts. See, here's the thing here. People don't understand. China, because of you got to understand a few things here. A couple months ago, almost a year ago, we had Xi Jinping, eliminate term limits for himself. Okay, so he becomes almost like a supreme leader, almost in a way, in China, right? He becomes like a supreme leader. So now he is the supreme leader in China. Trump comes in and says, hey, I'm going to ding you over the head, supreme leader, with $200 billion in tariffs. What are you going to do about it? So Xi cannot appear weak. So what is he going to do? He's going to respond. And he's like, all right, America's going to start the biggest trade war in history. Well, all China could do at this moment is hit America with $34 billion. They can't do much. Why? Because guess who's the net importer of China's net imports, okay, from the U.S. is minuscule. So whatever you hit in the U.S. with, it's insignificant to the U.S. economy. Number one, in spite of the fact that every single media personality out there is crying and whining, and they're, like somebody's twisting their nipples, screaming that this is the end of America, the end of the American economy. Trump's going to start a trade war, which is going to go to a World War III. I got colleagues of mine that say that. My man Dex was saying it the other day. It's not going to go to World War III. There's none of that's going to happen. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you got to also look at it this way, right? The second thing is they're importing X amount, but we're importing a lot more. So when we hit them with a tariff, it's their industries. You see, they haven't really thought this through very well yet, because they cannot sustain a blow like that. Not on trade. They are an export-driven economy. To get a trade hit from the largest consumer economy on the planet, even though we're not perfect, even though there's a lot of economic problems here in the United States that need rectifying and fixing, getting hit by a massive $200 billion trade hit on just tech that Trump says this is the first volley. You think this is bad? I'm going to go ahead and kick you in the nuts another time. And because the next number up that Trump's already admitted, CJ, is $500 billion. $500 billion on China. You're going to see, I promise you this, call me crazy, call me nuts, call me V, you're out of your mind. You don't know what you're talking about, V, you're nuts. I promise you this. Trump goes to $500 billion in trade tariffs. Watch him bring Xi Jinping to the negotiating table, hat in hand. I said it. You don't have to believe me. Hat in hand. Because all the things that China's been developing in the last several decades, it's not ready yet. The China interpayment system is not fully fleshed out, not totally ready, right? Their trading partners are still vulnerable. They're not fully disconnected from the dollar system. They're not fully disconnected from the U.S. The One Belt, One Road initiative, which is a wonderful, beautiful idea. It's the greatest thing that ever happened to humanity. It's not fully fleshed out yet. So a hit like this at this time, it is the most vulnerable time. Number one. Number two, militarily, they don't have a blue water navy. Folks don't realize this. You see, China, here's the problem. China's an economic superpower, and they have defensive capabilities in the sense they have the Dongfeng D-21 missile that can sink an American aircraft carrier. All those things are true. All those things are true. They lack a deep water navy. In fact, the strongest navy in Asia is the Japanese Navy. The strongest navy there. The Japanese Navy can wipe the floor with the Chinese Navy. That is a darn fact. That is a darn fact. Okay. So they don't have much of a blue water presence, a deep water blue water presence. They're ratcheting it up, but it's not there yet. Okay. They're ratcheting it up, but it's not there yet. So whatever this trade spat is, China is not in a position of strength where they can militarily make demands and say, hey, man, you better knock this off or blah, blah, blah. They can't, number one. Number two, when you study the Chinese military, and here's the problem. The Chinese military, they spend most of their time not so much training for battles, training for wars. They're not spending most of that time doing that. They spend most of their time, this is a fact here, a great deal of the hours spent in the Chinese military is studying and rehearsing Communist Party propaganda. Most of their time is wasted studying communist propaganda. That is a darn fact. You cannot excuse it. You can look it up yourself. Don't take my word for it, okay? Is studying communist propaganda. So they're not exposed to the foreign conflicts. They're not exposed to the asymmetric three-dimensional warfare that modern warfare is. They don't have that experience, They're not there yet. They're ratcheting it up, but they're not there yet. So here's the 5 points, folks. The Blue Water Navy, not there yet, ratcheting it up. A military that's not spending their time, wasting their time studying the stupid party crap. They're trying to change that, ratcheting it up, but not there yet. Chinese Air Force, ratcheting it up, but not there yet. The One Belt, One Road initiative, being built, not there yet. Chinese entertainment systems, it's built out, but there's no volume there yet. You can't have an entertainment system when you have like just a handful of nations that use it. It's a handful of nations that, some of which are really not big. They're not at all big players in the global economy. So it doesn't have the volume. It doesn't have the liquidity. It doesn't have anything. It doesn't have the sheer volume that SWIFT has on a daily basis. Not even remotely close. Ratcheting it up, but not there yet. So when you look at China in this stage of the game, and one day China will be a power. I mean, they are an economic power. They are technically the largest economy in the world. They carry less, and here's again pros and cons. They don't have the systemic debt that we have. Most of their debt is inside their borders versus us. Most of our debt's outside the border. So we have some vulnerabilities there. Trump and this administration knows this. That's why the American plan. Folks, the American plan, you have to understand what the American plan is. The globalists are not at all in power. If the last several weeks has not driven this fact home to you, I don't know what will. I don't know what will. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Now respect it. Look at it. G7 being kicked in the nuts. NATO being kicked in the nuts. World Trade Organization being kicked in the nuts. China's getting kicked in the nuts. Everybody's getting kicked in the nuts. The globalists are getting kicked in the nuts. The situation in North Korea being normalized. Relationships with Russia is getting normalized. The new American plan is an energy-rich, energy-centric America that will have an emerging new dollar system that will replace the current rotting crap of a mess. We are headed, folks. You better get on this train. When my man W told me this about a year ago, almost a year ago, I said, hey, man, look, I'm on the Trump train. He's going for broke. Watch him go after the bad guy. I said, W, you crazy. It ain't not going to happen, W. You crazy. You talking nonsense, man. You're talking nonsense. And damn it, he's right again. Damn it, he's always right again. The guy's crazy. Drive me nuts. But look at it. The globalist systems are being kicked to the curb. The EU is imploding. They're getting kicked in the nuts. They're done for. NATO, G7, World Trade Organization, the UN, he's calling it obsolete. It's a joke. We are becoming more insular. The American system calls for a system where the troops are called home, number one. We are energy-rich, energy-centric, and I detailed for you guys the reason why Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley were given the free pass from the stress test that the Fed gave out. Why? Because who are the two banks that have experience in building a commodity-backed system? Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs. I've already detailed it for you before. I'm not going to waste my time detailing it for you again. Go back and listen to the prior shows. It's amazing.
Real quick for you, let's open it up. We do have some questions that have flowed in. All right, let's do it.
So ranting for the next 3-4 hours.
No, it was all good. It was all good. So Santana wants to know what happened with the gold USB and the silverback.
Oh man, we are working on a new product. I'm gonna call it the APE, the Advanced Portfolio Encryption System. APE, right? APE is amazing. What APE is, man, dude, it's sick. It is a little cube the size of a credit card. You take that cube with you wherever you want to go. It has a full-blown operating system already built in. It's plug and play. So as soon as you take your APE, it works on Bluetooth, so you can put a Bluetooth keyboard, or you can directly plug in a keyboard. You can plug in a mouse. You can hook it up directly to your monitor using an HDMI wire, and boom, you have a full-on custom Linux operating system that has been fully encrypted with 512 bits of military-grade encryption that is in a persistent static state. That is it's elliptical grade, so it's always changing, right? You have a very fast and fluid system that's designed specifically for accessing the web securely, sending out secured and encrypted email messages, and most importantly, handling your cryptocurrency portfolio. It is a rival to the Nano Ledger. That if you guys are interested, hell, man, I'll take pre-orders. Just email me right now, and we'll be ready to ship soon. If you're interested in the Ape, which is our new crypto management portfolio advanced system that's there. If you're interested in it, you want to send an inquiry, email me. I will get back to you with the exact pricing. We are talking with the manufacturer right now. It's a U.S.-based manufacturer. Ha, ha, ha! Made in the USA. We have exclusives with them. So if you're ready to rock and roll, email me. Email me at v@roguemoney.net, v@roguemoney.net, and I'll give you the details. It's for and just put in the subject line APE, APE, APE. All right. So that's going to be the new system. It's far better. See, some of the people that had the gold USB, they ran into some problems with it in terms of it's a little advanced to install it and get it going, right? Ape solves all that. It's ready to play out the box. It's plug and it's play, baby. It's real simple. Real simple.
Cool. Excellent. And Rory from the Daily Coin, welcome to the Rogue Morning Show. He wants to know about Trump and Merkel and Russians' gas into Germany. Thoughts? And I think you may have touched base on a little bit, V.
Oh, yeah. Great question, Rory. I think what's going to happen is this. The Nord Stream pipeline will continue. Russia will have a stake in the European gas market for quite a long time. And I think that's what's going to be discussed when Trump meets Putin, amongst the other topics that will be discussed. We're not ready to supply Europe with natural gas. We don't have the wherewithal. We don't have the infrastructure. We can't do it cheaper than the Russians. We cannot do it logistically better than the Russians right now. We just can't do it. So what we're going to do is what we're going to do. And what we're going to do is we are going to become the largest energy producer on the entire planet. Watch all those watch the Anwar and Gull Island wells crack open. Watch the drilling that's going to occur in the Colorado Rockies, where they have 5 trillion barrels proven, tested, ready to be uncorked. Watch the drilling take place here in the United States. We are heading for a future of not only clean energy with petroleum and the newer technologies that allow extraction of hydrocarbons with minimal, next to nothing impact on the environment, folks. We are heading for this new energy rich. And then once we become energy rich, we don't need to all of a sudden compete with the Russians to sell or to get oil or energy over to Europe. We can become we are projected to become a bigger energy producer than Russia. And here's the deal. If we can get, thanks to the advancements in cost, this is what a lot of people don't realize. People are wondering why in the era of $50, when it was $50 and when it was $60 and when it was $40, okay, how can American drilling still continue? And it was continuing. Why? Because there are newer technologies that are making the extraction of shale cheaper and cheaper. The price is starting to plummet. Why? Because necessity is the mother of invention. Do not be surprised at one time in the future that we have some sort of a pipeline deal that maybe, perhaps, cuts across the northern Arctic, or maybe perhaps goes across from Alaska directly into Russia, or we resell directly to the Russians and the Russians resell it to the Europeans. Don't be surprised that doesn't happen. Don't be surprised that all of a sudden you're going to have a pipeline deal between us and Canada, between us and Mexico, between us and other nations in the world. This is the future. And I think Trump knows this, especially this whole situation with Germany and let them have the Nord Stream. It's not going to happen. But what's happening is that Trump is shedding light. Wait a minute, you have the Nord Stream. You're talking about Russia and how much you are afraid of Russia, but you're putting a Russian pipeline directly in your country. Like, what is wrong with you? And then you're asking us to pay for your protection. It's the stupidest thing in the world. So Trump's calling out. Germany is a country in shambles. Okay, folks. The German military, and you can look this up, the German military was out there training with broomsticks because they couldn't afford to bring in guns. Did you know that, ZJ? They were pretending that the broomsticks they were holding, that they painted black, how pathetic, were guns. This is what's becoming in Germany. It's becoming a laughing stock.
Crazy.
Unreal.
Next question. You ready?
Yep.
Let's see here. It looks like Sean wants to know, do you guys see the U.S. getting into another war?
No. Wars are off the table.
Excellent. Very good.
You'll have a lot of rhetoric. How many people poop themselves? He's going to strike Korea at any moment. He's going to create an artillery barrage upon Seoul, South Korea, because of attacking the North. It's going to be a crap storm. It's going to be a triggering world. No, that's not what happened. Trump's rhetoric. This guy. I'm flabbergasted once you see the big picture of what's going on here. It's remarkable. It's remarkable. No, we're not entering a war at all.
V, Texas Crypto Hodler would like to know, do you guys hold the same view as Jeff Berwick as far as the economy crashing, or at least a monetary reset of some kind this year?
I don't see a monetary reset this year. Maybe 2020 is what I'm looking at. Maybe late 2019, maybe 2020. We're going to a monetary reset. A monetary reset, folks, is a completely different horse than an economy crashing. I don't see an economic crash at all. This is not a question of, and again, you got to understand that, like, the cabal, the bad dudes, the bad guys, the malo hombres de malo, these guys are not in power anymore. They're the ones who wanted to crash the economy. It's not going to happen. We're going to go for a reset, because that's what this whole American plan is, and I got to keep bringing it back to that. When you have an energy-centric America that's rich in energy, that's rich in resources, where we're controlling and calling the shots, we can now back our new currency, which will be our new dollar. Okay, which will be our new dollar, and it won't be a dual currency system. It'll be a new dollar, and that's new dollar we'll say, hey, this is backed by the energy reserves of the United States. We don't have the gold because these bastards have stolen the gold from us. But we're going to back it with the greatest thing that we have, which are our hydrocarbons. And that's the bargaining chip. You see, when you're the biggest energy producer in the world, you carry a very big stick. You can come to any party you want. You can walk yourself into any club, any lounge, any elitist venue you want to go to. You can do it, because you know what? You are the big honcho. You can call the shots. So that's a beautiful thing.
Cool. Very cool. And let's see. Another question is from, Herkimer wants to know, what do you guys have to say about the reports of the DEA FBI hit team of 2 that killed Seth Rich?
I haven't heard anything. Don't know.
Well, apparently there was some coverage of it, and there was I believe on InfoWars, was supposed to be like a press conference releasing the information, and it was, I believe, an investigator. I probably have this all wrong, so I hate to even speculate, but apparently there was an eyewitness that came forth and tied the individuals directly to it. So let's see if it gained traction. I mean, I'd hate to think that was put out primarily for a lot of views and clicks, so. But you guys know that happens.
I think so. Unfortunately, what I'm hearing is some MS-13 guys knocked off Seth Rich. That's what I'm hearing. Look, I mean, that's what's probably happened. There's no reason for the FBI or the DEA to get involved. It's just,
yeah. I mean, it's no difference, V, than we're going. Well, the race war is starting this Monday. The race war is starting across America. So get in your bunkers right now. Do it right now.
Yeah, civil war is breaking out the 4th of July. The left are going to start the Civil War.
Unfortunately, people
do those things. 3,000.
The other example I give you was a few months ago over the weekend. Everyone was like, "Don't go to the dark web. The Huma and Hillary videos out, and Huma's eating face off of a child and taking off and putting on her face. And don't go to the dark web. Don't go looking for it, because the FBI will know you're looking for it." I mean, that there's people doing things out there for strictly for clicks and views.
Oh, yeah.
So just again, but if there is an eyewitness that came forth, I would hope that we would have heard something by now. But we know the corruption that does exist in the FBI. But we'll see. But good question. Let's see here. I think we already answered that one question. Let me scroll down here a little bit. A lot of people also be last night and tonight on Coast to Coast, as far as the when we finally do reveal and names and faces and all that. Someone did also a friendly reminder that we need to hit up Greg Hunter first, because I think we did promise Greg that we would do a show, that you would do a show with him.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
As soon as he contacts me.
Okay, let's see here. Jim Willie has said 2 big events within 2 months: Deutsche Bank failure and gold trade note. Will these events affect the current dollar? Will the U.S. see an effect from these events?
Yeah. The current dollar as it exists is a very manipulated, very vulnerable thing. This is why, look, folks, you got to think multidimensionally here. You got to look at all sides, right? You got to be very pragmatic, not hold a position here. But you got to understand, you got to really put on your thinking caps and get this in your heads. Okay, the current dollar is going to go away. Okay, number one. The new emerging dollar, which is going to replace it, is going to be a commodity or a hydrocarbon-backed dollar, number one. Number two, the current dollar, yea, though that it is strong, and I was one of the few that predicted that it's going to go higher and higher in value, and I called it monetary hypoxia, where the dollar is going to go higher and higher in value until it dies. Okay, these events, a Deutsche Bank failure, a gold trade note that could emerge, will these affect the current dollar? Absolutely. That is the plan. That is the plan. That's part of the plan, folks. This is what the good guys have been trying to do here. This is what the Trump administration trying to do. That is part of the plan. They know the dollar is sunk. It's toast. Okay, they know that. But they also know the masses don't know that. The masses are not savvy. The masses don't know this. They are, they read in 6th grade level English. That's the mass. That's who we're dealing with here, folks. So he's got to speak things in simple terms. He's got to move things, transitionally, very smoothly. That's the way it's done. So, in terms of these things affecting the current dollar, yes, they will affect the current dollar. They will, but they won't affect the new dollar. And the old dollar, let it go. Let it go. These things, look, you understand, whatever is coming out right now from China simply doesn't have the volume. And watch how this trade, I'm telling you, watch how this quote unquote trade war plays out. That's going to be the clincher. And remember, I told you guys, you don't have to believe me. You don't have to think that, you might even think I'm crazy or I don't know what I'm talking about. But watch what happens. Watch how, surprise to a lot of people, watch how China comes back to the negotiating table.
Excellent. Awesome. Very cool. V, any other closing thoughts? Today's Wednesday still. Crypto, will we have a crypto show later on today? I can't remember the schedule date.
Yes, well, we'll probably be on at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Cool. Excellent. And then also for the listeners, I let everyone know that Rogue has afforded me the opportunity to visit Freedom Fest this week. So I'm going to try to coordinate with V as much as possible, try to get some live streams, some interviews going, and excited for that. So V, I don't have anything else unless you have any other topics you'd like to discuss.
No, if nobody has any other questions, then folks, that's the end of the show. What is this? There's here, Tory Road. V, you said Chinese can China has the best logistics. Absolutely correct. They can manufacture technology. I'm talking about smartphones and stuff like that very quickly. But again, what are they? They are what? An export-driven economy. So all of a sudden, your smartphone that you can make in 3 days, you try to bring it over to my borders, I kick you in the nuts. Now you can't sell it. Now it's hit with a 25% tariff. That hurts you more than it hurts me. Do you get it? So yeah, they have a great supply chain, but what's a great supply chain if you can't offload the product? That's the great thing that people have to realize, and that's the game that's being played.
The gold price. I think you may have alluded to this a little bit last night. Thoughts on gold prices moving forward?
Gold and silver is going to stay the same all throughout the rest of the year. I don't see anything happening until maybe sometimes late in 2019. There's nothing going to happen in gold. Nothing's going to happen. And anybody tells you, get my special report. I have tracked the gold price by tracking the movements of Mars and Uranus. And I have found that gold will go to $29,000 by the end of April of 2019. Not going to happen. Not happen. Here's Tory Rhodes. Troy Rhodes just don't get it. Troy, you got to keep up with me, brother. You got to keep up with me. I'm not flip-flopping. Data changes. Intel moves. It's a fast and fluid world we live in. You said Chinese can manufacture. Yes, I said Chinese can manufacture tech, but it doesn't change. Okay. I've explained that to you guys. Also, the fact that where is it? China has the best tech minds on the planet. Yeah, they got some great tech minds on the planet. You can have the greatest tech minds on the planet, but you can't offload your tech. You can't sell your tech anywhere. What good are you? I'm telling you, watch how this thing plays out. It's changed my tune. Yeah, I changed my tune. Why? Because I cracked the code. Figured it out. The data is fast and fluid, folks. The data is fast and fluid.
All right. Want to close it out, V?
Yeah, with that being said, we are over and out. Take it away, El Cuco.